Hey yo, what is good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Yo a Nerd. And once again, I got a guest today, so it's not just me talking into a camera. Give it up for Lloyd of Midnight Comics. What's up, Lloyd?
Nothing much, man. What's going on?
You know, living, trying to be a creator, you feel me?
Listen, tough. No,
It
but it's
is.
always a joy. Like you said, I'm Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics. One half of Midnight Comics. Natasha Jones, my lovely wife, is the other half. And for the last 5 years, we've prided ourselves on saying we're Atlanta's first and largest Black family-owned indie comic book and manga publisher. And we're celebrating right now with our Tales from Midnight Omnibus, which is a 630-page epic book that contains everything we've ever published, sneak peeks, behind the scenes commentary, my original sketches of the characters, like everything, the whole process leading up till now. We've also partnered with Otaku Noir to have mystery boxes included with that, and we have the first ever Midnight Comics trading cards, also part of that as well.
Bro.
Hold on.
So there's no point in me being here since you just gonna answer all the questions.
I'm so sorry. I misunderstood. I messed up.
No, that's good. You just went straight into it.
Oh no.
Whoa, I know I said I hated intros, but you did a very quick intro. Was like, okay, let's just get straight into it. We got.
There it is. Oh no.
Oh my god, that was great.
Thank you. Oh no. He
But
was like, "I'm just gonna do the real quick thing, and I'm gonna ask you some questions." And I said, "Yeah." So what are the questions? He asked. Dang.
yeah, but real quick, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. Can you can you tell us about what you guys do at Midnight Comics and the bunch of different titles you have and the stuff you're doing in the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So in regards to titles, we have 9 different titles with each of some of the 3 of them specifically having multiple issues. So Tales from Midnight, we'll start from there. I guess technically it's 10 issues, but semantics. So Tales from Midnight is our anthology series. In the first one, we introduced 4 different superhero stories, and in the second one, we introduced 3 different supernatural stories. So starting from that first one, we introduced Blue Morpho, the Gray, Soul, and Admani. So Blue Morpho, she's a vigilante, but we don't even start with her. We start with her mom, who is a character known as the Butterfly, who's a character that came out in the 70s, but she ended up in the public domain. She is considered to be the first ever African American superheroine to be in a comic, predating Storm and Vixen. And so we was like, a lot of history there. Let's explain why she's been gone for these decades, and then continue the story through our own original character, the Blue Morpho. The Gray is an experimental physicist. She's created artificial black holes, but the company she works for wants to weaponize it, where she was trying to use it as an infinite energy source. And so, with that being said, she decides to become the hero known as the Gray to steal her tech back at the end of the world. But the caveat, she doesn't know how to fight. So she only has her intellect to go with in her journey to be a hero. Admani. I was going to go Soul next, but Admani is a young lady who develops fire powers while also dealing with crippling anxiety and mental health issues. Did I say develop fire? Yeah, she gets fire powers while also dealing with those things. Excuse me. Which that story, very excited for. It's actually going through a revamp at the moment. So you'll see a new version of issue 1 of that soon. You get issue 0 in Tales from Midnight, but just a sidebar, issue 1 that came out before is going to be a revamp with new artwork by Haiku that you saw do Chiroptera in our Midnight Showcase the last time we did a Kickstarter. But last but not least, in regards to the Tales from Midnight 1 stories, which includes our fan favorite ones, hence why I'm going a little more in depth with these characters. Soul, who was our flagship character, but very quickly, the Gray, who is my personal favorite character out of all of our stories, is taking that top spot. She is definitely becoming the fan favorite. But Soul is a gentleman who has 2 Egyptian deities within him, Amon and Ra. He does not have the mind of Amon Ra, though, so he's kind of going in blind right now as he has to face off against the Egyptian pantheon and the being that is set out to destroy said Egyptian pantheon. So yeah, so it's kind of a coming of age story in that regard. Less detailed explanation of titles that we have. In Tales 2, those supernatural stories we talked about a second ago include the Raven's Omen. It follows an indigenous being known as the Ravenmocker in modern day New York, and nobody understands why people were coming up dead, missing their hearts, and there's no marking on them. So the people outside of the Ravenmocker are trying to figure out what's happening and basically trying to figure out how to stop this thing. We have the last day. It's a gentleman by the name of Iabani. He's going to the store. He's grabbing some snacks, getting ready to study for finals. And this guy with the circular blade comes in and starts gutting everybody. And so, really, he's we're following Iabani to find out if he could survive his last day. And then we have Dogma. Follows two demon hunters who make it to a city they're supposed to protect a little bit too late. And the demon that awaits them is the demon known as Legion. So those are the 7 titles that you get to experience in that initial Tales from Midnight. Soul and the Gray became those most popular characters, so they have 3 issues apiece. Technically, Gray has 4 because her issue 0 in Tales from Midnight is separate from that issue 1 that we provide. And then our manga series, The Unbeloved, follows 2 Shinto deities, Izanagi and Izanami. They actually fail to save the world. And so let me backtrack. It's actually following Hiroko and Awashima, their kids, as they prevent or attempt to prevent a second apocalypse in the wake of their parents' failure. So yeah, that series actually has the entire first arc done. There's 5 chapters out for that right now. And all of those stories are compiled into this omnibus, making that 600 plus page book.
Dang, 600 plus pages?
600.
That's wild. That's wild. And all of this is written by you and Natasha?
Correct. There was a crossover book that I edited and gave some assistance writing wise. We were part of the Powerverse team up. The Powers That Be Super Team. The first 2 issues of that book are also included in there as well. So Soul and 13 other indie characters are all part of this massive event that takes place as the universes collide and what have you. So yeah.
Hey. So that must be a lot to just create all these titles and then to build out this whole universe and all these different characters and actually different genres too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
so I'm guessing you guys are real big into different genres, like especially like anime. And how does that influence you guys?
Oh man. So to talk about our origin story a little bit, weren't fans of the ending of Naruto, right? We wanted to see, like, I mean, not to make a whole tangent on that, but like if they lost, Boruto can still happen. Like they all still won in the end, right? Naruto got to become Hokage, Hinata got with Naruto, Sakura got with Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's dreams come true. Was that not the goal of the Infinite Tsukuyomi? Right? So like they
just
could
so
have
you
lost.
know, just so you know, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I
I've not.
apologize.
I
I
started to.
apologize.
I was gonna let you just go, but you're talking to me like I know what you're talking about.
I so apologize. I'm sorry. He was like, "Hey, yo, hold on, slow it down."
You good?
But I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Tasha.
Hey, Malcolm.
So they could have lost and it'd have been fine. So one of the influences was just we wanted to be able to write story that weren't afraid to take risks, to bring back stakes, right?
Mhm.
Even with DCKO as of recently, right? Oh, Superman's disappeared. We're gonna have Reign of the Superboys. We know Superman's coming back. The
Right.
thing that a lot of that they're missing, DCKO was trash, but the thing that I feel like they're missing, right? They're harping on nostalgia. Like you remember Reign of the Superman? It was so great, right? Yeah, because we thought Superman was dead and we were going to be passing the torch, and somebody was going to step up from the ashes and handle business. That's why it had an impact. We know he's coming back this time, so it's not. I don't know. I'm not clairvoyant, right? But I don't think it's going to do as well as those books did back then, right? Because again, where are the stakes? We know these characters are coming back. Oh, we killed a character off. I bet. Okay, I'll catch you in 3 months. He'll be back.
Oh, Batman's going. I'll see him later.
I'll see him later. It's okay,
That
right?
literally happened. That
And
happened
it
in 2 issues.
literally happened
Nigga came back.
real quick. You know what I'm saying? 6 issues later, boom, yep, I'm back. And so that's one of the influences where it's just like we gotta be able to tell stories with risks. We got to be able to tell stories to bring stakes and stuff back. And so, um, But we also know every story isn't superheroes and capes and stuff like that. So we definitely binge and watch other things outside of the show and outside of your traditional superhero content and stuff like that. One of my more recent favorite anime watches is Sign of Affection. Oh my god, beautiful slice of life situation. Uh-oh. But so sorry, got completely thrown off just now. But yeah, so just
Sign of Affection.
like
It was a
Sign of
really good
Affection,
show.
like kind of consuming these different
And it
mediums
was
because
his. It was his.
my
He
suggestion, yeah,
suggested the show too. By the way.
kind of a love
I'm
story
not a big
situation.
romance person, so when he suggested, I was like, I guess okay.
So
fine.
good. And one of the main characters, she's deaf. So Sign of Affection,
okay.
she's the main character. So she's just sign language the whole time and stuff.
Oh,
And it's,
that's fire.
it's
Sign of Affection.
great.
That's fire. I like that.
So naming conventions, right? That type of thing. And so not to say that that influenced how and why we name characters certain things, but to your point, right? It's just thinking deeper than just, oh, this character is going to get point A to point B. Okay, but what are they doing from point A to point B? Right? Why the outfit? Why the powers? Why, all these things kind of going together. So yeah, anyway, to answer the question, yeah, we do watch a lot of anime, a lot of television shows and movies and stuff like that. One of my personal favorites is Bubblegum Crisis. If we're going to talk anime, that's one of my favorites from back in the day.
He did a whole great. I mean, I guess I was there too.
Oh,
A whole great panel at BlurCon all about creating great characters.
yes, yeah.
I definitely want to talk to y'all about panels too, but I want to get into y'all's Kickstarter before we get into that stuff, so I don't like lose track of it. But yeah, I want to get into y'all's Kickstarter y'all got out right now. Y'all have a Kickstarter with an omnibus.
Yes.
Omnibus. And for anybody listening that doesn't know what an omnibus is, that means one big ass book.
Right, though.
Apparently, from something I read with someone talking about, they said that's an encyclopedia.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the yellow pages, like that we used to have, like them Jones. But I want to talk about it real quick. I'm gonna try to bring this up. I normally have a second screen, but I don't this time. So let's see how this works. Okay, back. You guys can see it.
It is.
Boom.
Yes. So this is you guys' Kickstarter right now. Can you tell the people about what is Lloyd, you went into a little bit, but about what is collected inside this omnibus?
Would you like to take it this time?
You mean this time? I literally just got finished talking about it.
No, I know, but I didn't follow instructions a second ago, and like I went all in at the beginning. So I did discuss some of this, but we'll let the people hear your rendition of it on this here program.
Yes, of course. Did you spoil things?
No. I didn't spoil anything. I gotta jump the head of the program. Is
Gotcha,
all.
okay.
There we go.
But yes, this is our 5-year anniversary omnibus. Of course, we celebrated 5 years last year. And to celebrate, we wanted to release this collector's item. We'd never seen an omnibus done by a small indie publisher before. So we figured, hey, we should do it. And we can bring all the stories that we've published over the last 5 years. But on top of that, we can give sneak peeks into stories that we're currently working on that haven't been released. We can give sneak peeks into next issues for stories that have been released. We can give behind the scenes on things that we're doing, how we work on things, inspiration behind things, old character concept art that Lloyd drew that maybe some people haven't seen or haven't seen in a while because it's been a long time since we posted some of that stuff, and now you just have it. You can look at it whenever, and to see, just the journey of the character from beginning to end and where they came from. Also, of course, there's going to be character cards, character trading cards, and bio cards, and mystery boxes, which there's 4 separate mystery boxes because that cover for the omnibus is technically 4 different pictures put together.
Mm-hmm.
This one right here?
Yes, sir.
So the artist drew it as 4 separate pictures. And so it makes up 4 separate mystery boxes. And then you can get one or all 4 of them.
Yep.
No, that is dope. So just think, okay, here go the collection boxes right here. Just think about this, like putting together like a normal like 24 issue comic, like just putting it together and think about what goes inside is a lot. how did y'all decide how to organize this 600-page omnibus? Like, how did you decide what goes where, what to fill in, what to add? Like, how did y'all put all that together?
Yeah, honestly, we just kind of went in chronological order, right?
Mhm.
We kind of start off with the, kind of thank yous and stuff like that, and then
Hmm.
take you on that literal journey, right?
Mhm.
We show before you even get to the first story, it's a deep dive really into, kind of that origin story we talked about, those first sketches. And once you get through my original sketches, kind of the trail into those initial pinups of the characters, and then it's all right, here's the very first story that got done. And then we just kind of
Mhm.
do that. And in between each story, we have character bios, so you can get a little extra insight on the characters or what have you. Any promo art that we got done for the characters will follow each of their stories, so you just have not only additional knowledge but just kind of that extra time with each of the characters where it's like, I understand why they did this in this story now. So you just get, you kind of get that added time with each story that, whereas before, like, of course, these stories are great, people read through them, but it's like, okay, I read it, I'm done. It's like, no, like you're reading it and you're actually getting to know, seeing more of the character, more of that inspiration and thought that was put into each character. And so again, we just kind of went in chronological order and did the same thing with each of the stories. And then we have a nice little break, little section between the Western comics and the manga, where we
Right.
showcase, those sneak peeks to further manga, why that changed, why we also write that. Again, those original sketches leading into all of the manga that we have in there. And then, of course, we talk about, the collaborations and stuff like that before leading into those collaborative books that we've been a part of or what
Mhm.
have you. So, yeah. And then we also in there, I failed to say, an unreleased book
Oh.
called Attack of the Fog is in there. We are the first comic book company, to partner with a utility company ever.
Mhm.
So our book with the Water Authority, shout out to Clayton County Water Authority, will also be
Top
included
water
in there.
authority in the world.
Actually, yes, is a leading water
The
authority in,
world, Craig. The
yeah,
world.
world, Craig, right. So all of that is in there as well. So
Mhm.
we talk about every bit of the journey. Yeah.
So this is basically, like you said, your whole 5 years is all bundled up into this omnibus. Like your
Yeah.
5 years as a creator is in this
Yeah.
omnibus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That has to
Absolutely.
be hella emotional. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That has to be emotional to put together.
It's
Yeah.
stressful.
It's emotional, it's stressful, it's a lot of, like, again, a lot of emotions during the course of this Kickstarter, because yeah, it's like, whoa, you know, we've done a lot in 5 years, like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
We know
so
people who've been doing this
for a long
way
time,
longer.
yeah, we've seen a lot of people come and go, and it's like, man, it's a blessing to be able to say that we've been able to stay doing this, to stay
Mhm.
Mhm.
pursuing our passions and stuff
Despite
like that, despite
everything.
so much. As some of you guys know, or most of you guys know, everybody should know, we've also got 3 kids. you
Yeah.
know,
Is slightly disabled, and there's a
right?
lot of care that goes into her.
So,
Um,
yeah,
it's Tuesday, so she had therapy today.
therapy, right? So, and we homeschool heavily. Tasha homeschools. I look cute. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
Looks
But it's
cute,
just,
cute and makes jokes.
yeah, but it's a lot.
You the
It's
principal. You like the
Yeah,
principal.
there we go, Principal
I'm
Jones. Yeah.
saying that.
See, we all, but no, yeah. So it's just been a blessing to be able to continue to create with all the stuff that we know happens behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, and even going back and watching old videos and stuff, and it was just like
So
we were so young first time.
it's only 5 years ago.
Okay, it's only 5 years ago, but the times, there's a lot of stuff that has happened in 5 years, and
That's
and certain things just kind of weigh on you. And so just to be able to still smile about it and to still be creating, still find that same joy that we had way back when 5 years ago, August 5th, 2020 officially. We're just proud of all of that. So it has been an amazing journey. So
and
yeah.
love how much more we love writing
Writing
comics.
comics, right. Right. So yeah.
That's good to hear. And yeah, like we all know behind the scenes as creators, we deal with a lot of shit. So to
Mhm.
have like, to that's why I said it has to be emotional to
Yeah.
bring your 5 years and to see the 5 years and probably think about all the shit that you've been through to get here. Like
Hmm.
that's why I said it had to be emotional. But I really want to give y'all congrats to that because that's dope and it's mad inspirational, mad inspirational.
Thank you.
And I want to continue talking about the Kickstarter here. I'm gonna share my screen again. I want to get into the rewards. I think that's one thing with like Kickstarters that I'm always interested in to think about like why people put these rewards like this or why they do that. Even as a fan and a creator, just and then just to see what people give to as rewards and to let people know what they're getting. So let me share my screen since this worked so well last time. But here we go. Can y'all go into detail like the rewards and what people will be getting from these rewards?
Absolutely. So, starting from the top, we usually have, we want to have a digital option, right? At least for the volume. The omnibus would be ridiculous to try to do. Um, as a digital, but we wanted to still have an entry point for
Hmm.
those that haven't experienced anything, but didn't really want to take the chance, right? This is
Right.
new,
$150.
$150 out the gate. I don't really know you, and if it's if it's not good, then I just wasted 150, right? So that $30 option is like, hey, I got something, I support it, I'm gonna get experience the verse a little bit, but then there's still plenty more for them to check out after the fact. So same thing with the physical version of the trade. Like again, some people specifically want to you know they like physical books, right? They want to be able to touch and flip through the pages. So we did the same thing with the volume. And because we were like, well, there's going to be people that want that entry point, let's make sure that we have the trading cards and the mystery boxes as an option as well. Again, just because you're just now getting that entry point doesn't mean you can't get the rest of the stuff. So instead of having it as an add-on, let's just put those together.
Hold on, you're
Uh,
talking about this trade. Sorry, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Keep
yeah,
volume one.
yes, sir.
Okay, cool, cool.
Sales volume one, yeah. So all of that, yeah, that's the entry point. That's not the omnibus again. But we don't sell the trades on the website. The only other place is the conventions is where we do the trades. Um, and so it still is a unique item that you wouldn't be able to get on our website. So there's still that feeling of inclusivity of, oh, I am still getting something that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to get to go on the website and get. So yeah,
Right.
so the trading cards, all the trading cards would be included with that Tales Volume One, and then same thing with the mystery box. It's that same entry point, but with the mystery box. But the next tier is the real meat and potatoes, of course. That is the omnibus proper. And if you notice what we did,
600.
we wanted to make sure that that's a whole offline conversation as we'll talk about pricing and stuff. Um, but but yeah, so the omnibus again, that's that 600 plus page book that we've been talking about. If you already got some of the books, but there's still certain things that you want to see, and again, it's a collector's item. This is you can, like we've been saying recently, you only celebrate 5 years once. So like this is it. This is the collector's item. This is it. Once this is gone, it's gone. So, but of course, we wanted to make sure that as you guys are getting to know about the characters, why not also include those exclusive trading cards, which is the next tier as well. I do believe, oh gosh, if I can remember offhand, it's 12 cards. 12 cards total. I want to say it's three rows of four. Which is all of the characters that have stories, except for Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver's story has not been published, but all the rest of the character
It was
stories.
written long enough ago
But it
with the
was
character
right,
design and everything that is just like, I mean, we love this character.
right.
We love this character a lot.
So essentially, almost every story that has been written, character design, that we did leading up to that 5 year point is represented. Um, so yeah, so that'll be the cards alongside of that book there, and then the mystery box, which is the next one again. So just to dive into that a little deeper, that's that partnership with Otaku Noir. And again, each box will have something different. We have mugs, shirts with all your favorite characters, stickers, bookmarks, the whole nine, right? And again, different things will be each one. I do believe we'll also have variant covers of Soul and or the Gray included in there. So yeah, bunch of stuff, and then of course we'll when it ends, we'll do a survey and let you guys decide which box you want to get, and of course everything will be randomized and what have you. So yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, I like that. I like with your rewards that it seems like you're definitely trying to give people their money's worth. Like you're
absolutely
getting, if you're paying this much, you're getting this much. You feel me? So
right.
that's really dope. And so, to further talk about the Kickstarter and kind of segue into something different, I've really been seeing y'all push this Kickstarter heavily, 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 because
Mhm.
y'all got a huge goal to get. And so, I wanted to talk about that, kind of like jumping on podcasts, going to panels and stuff like that. As a creator, what are some of your favorite avenues to like promote these Kickstarters and promote yourselves?
We can share. I'll go
Okay.
first. Um, I think personally, for me, it's nice having a mailing list because that's where you
Mhm.
reach personally.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes of being able to see the mailing list, you see how many people are on it, and you can also see how many people are active on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like some people don't actually use email. They signed up, a long time ago. It's been 5 years.
Right.
Some people they don't have those emails anymore, or
Right.
something like that. But you can see exactly how many people you're going to be contacting when you do the email list. And it's like, okay, I know this many people are actually going to get it, and you can see who, not who, but how many people open it, click on it, all those things. So it makes it a lot easier. And then I think my second one would be, now that Instagram has the
Broadcast
community
channel.
broadcast channels, because that's another way to directly connect with people versus having to rely on the algorithm to hopefully put you in front of the people who followed you
Mhm.
for a reason because they wanted to see the stuff, but now you won't show them the stuff because I didn't follow all the correct procedures to make sure my post was seen by everybody.
Right. And I'm with both of those. I think also just being able to get on different podcasts and shows, I think, is also very key. Because by yourself, you're not getting in front of everybody, right?
Nope.
So
Right.
to be able to get in front of new audiences, talk to new people, and kind of build hype and additional interest, because the more you end up on shows and other people are posting about, they're like, man, these people are everywhere. Well, what do they have going on? And in regards to data and stuff like that, it changes so often, but it goes from 4 to 8 or 8 to 12 touch points in order for somebody to finally
Do something.
react and engage, or rather actually hit that button to back or purchase said book. And so as you're kind of clearing those, your post, broadcast channel, mailing list, podcast, short from podcast, so on and so forth, all of the things, you're ticking those numbers. And so yeah, I think I would say the same, that more importantly, exactly what you said, mailing list, the broadcast channel, and then the shows, because again, instead of trying to fight the algorithm, and if you don't have money for marketing, you want to make
As
sure
most
that
of
you're
us don't.
reading, right, as most of us don't, you want to make sure that you're gathering your audience and community in a spot that you can directly chat with them.
Hmm.
Right. I don't have to beg the algorithm to talk to the broadcast channel. I don't have to. You're in there. You're going to see it. The individual might not check it out, but I don't have that added variable of the algorithm to get in the way.
Hmm.
Right.
So yeah, if you could figure out how to connect with your audience without having to pay extra money for it,
Right.
you're in a good spot.
And then I think someone else was talking about this, and I agreed. This was on TikTok. It's like, we don't have the money Marvel and DC do.
Mhm.
So, what is the best way to reach people? The old fashioned way is word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yep.
Get other people to tell people, to hopefully those people will tell people and invite, and so on and so forth. And hopefully that carries on.
Hmm. It does. Not even
I
hopefully. It
mean, you're
definitely
right.
does. Yeah.
And that's been a much bigger thing for us for this Kickstarter that we never really did as much for other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah. Yeah.
And also, so I had just had recently had Gary on, and me and him were talking, and we were actually talking about the importance of being present on social media. And then
Mhm.
so with you two, I actually see you guys very much present on social media with the Indie Versus group on Threads and also Instagram. So can y'all speak to that, like the importance of being present on social media and how that has helped you guys?
You want to talk about that
Yeah, I guess
for
so.
your side? Yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in a digital world, and you definitely need to be on social media, despite the fact that the algorithm is a piece of crap and doesn't like to show you people. You still have to. You got to be on there
Mhm.
because that's where people are.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing when it comes to having a presence on social media that I know I've definitely learned is not just being present, but cultivating relationships.
Yes.
Um, I have to agree with something that Lloyd has told me. A lot of the people who are talking about us are from relationships I've cultivated over the last, honestly, just year or
Yeah.
two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Ernie Blur Without Fear. We started talking, connecting, and cultivated that relationship. JP, we've cultivated a relationship, and I'm now on one of the co-hosts on the Comics Unmasked podcast. Um, Having my podcast has helped me to cultivate relationships. And then through those relationships, I've cultivated other relationships, and it's crazy, like looking and seeing how many people that and I've always been a very forthcoming and I believe genuine person because I
Mm-hmm.
hate to fake the funk and tend to be pretty good at reading people. Though my grandmother has always said I'm a lot like her mother, and the fact that even though I've read someone and feel like they're not the best person, I still try to see good in people and give people a chance. And so that has led to a bunch of relationships with people who not only are like, I'm interested in what you got, but you guys as people have been really cool, really genuine people. And I feel like a lot of people have said that to us as a whole, not just the people I've cultivated relationships with, but the people that we've cultivated relationships together
Mm-hmm.
and the people he's cultivated relationships. A lot of people tell us that we're very genuine and cool people, which is also always weird for me because it's hard for me to go out there and talk to people.
Right.
I have social anxiety out the wazoo. Like it's like, oh man, that's cool. Thank you. I'm gonna go decompress now.
I get that.
But yeah, on the indie breakdown side of things, yeah, I think in regards to kind of building relationships and being present and stuff like that is one of the things that we've been trying to gear people towards in that. And again,
Hmm.
talking about the character, introducing yourself, like building genuine relationships outside of just
Hmm.
what we see on Facebook or the. I think I compare it to link hell, right? Where it's just drop a link and then you go, and nobody does anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
But who cares?
who cares? But what we're trying to do there is exactly what she's just talked about the experience was, right? She's building relationships, she's actually having conversation and talking to people. And so with the indie breakdown, it's hey, my character beats your character says how? Okay, let's talk about it. And then you're talking about it. It was like, oh, well, what about this and what about that? And
Mhm.
as we've seen in there, that's led to loads of collaborations. That's led to hell, Solar has joined Concrete Comics through those conversations, right? Henosis Authority came about through that type of thing, right? And so to be able to see relationships thrive, to be able to see people get projects and stuff, it, it's amazing, right? But again, it's more than just, hey, I posted my character, I dipped out. No, 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 no. Y'all are talking, you're conversing, you're learning about one another stuff. You're talking about what the inspiration in the panels were, so on and so forth. And that goes further, right? You have people advertising coaching and consultations. You see people offering their art services. And again, it's genuine conversation, community building. Um, and visibility at the end of
Hmm.
the day. We saw Ralph in there with his with Atridian when he first showed up, right? Came in there, won some matches, and said, "Oh, got a Kickstarter." Not only did his family and friends come, but those new fans and community they found in there as well. And so again, back to your point, it's about being present. It's about genuine conversation. It's not about dropping a link and saying, "I deserve all the followers and all the backers." That's not how the world works.
Even if you do,
Even if you do, you
own that,
absolutely do. Own that. But
but
there's more work than
earn them.
just, right? You have to earn it.
Mm.
You have to earn it. And so that's to bookmark, I guess. That's the point of that group. That's the point of a lot of these endeavors is to help with the visibility of not again with indie breakdown. It ain't about us. You know what I'm saying? It's about helping people not make those mistakes, or start in a better spot than we started, and get that additional visibility, get that additional help, find those editors, find those artists, find those writers, find those publishers that they may want to work with, and have that safe space to be able to talk freely about their stuff. Visibility and help that we wish that we had in the beginning. Now, boom, 7,000 strong group for people to be able to converse and have fun and get to know one another.
It also helps that that's pretty much how he walks into rooms. It's like, hey, I bet you won't beat my ass though.
You got to see me in the game, and this game inside is a whole different boy. But yeah, that's law.
We have a friend. We stayed at his house once, and he's former military now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, he was still in the military, so he had to leave really early. So we were still asleep, until he was going to get up later and leave.
Oh, you talking about that?
And he's leaving the house, and we're on the pull-out couch, and all he hears is he's about to walk out the door is like, "Still won't beat me at Super Smash Brothers, though." I thought you were asleep.
Stay talking trash.
That's hilarious.
My
Now I can see why you made indie verses. Now I can see.
Yeah.
Now I can see.
It's a glorious icebreaker. It's a glorious icebreaker.
It is.
It works. I've seen it in real
It
life.
is. It's great for our community. Like I always tell people, like if you're a creator or a fan, it's a great group to be in because it's people just talking about the characters. And if you have a character, just throw your character in there and talk about them. So I always think that's dope, and it like reaches the community.
Yeah.
And just to segue more into like reach the community and talk to the community. I just recently met y'all for the first time at BlurCon, which was actually a very dope event. It was a
Okay, go lay down. Sorry, children.
you good. You good. I understand.
Close your door. Turn your night light on. 'Cause I know he can't sleep because we're loud.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, that's usually. If he closes his door, he'll come.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, I totally get that. But at BlurCon, it was a great event, a lot of dope people there. I had a great time there. And then you guys were also there, having a table, and you guys were doing panels. So I want you guys to speak on that. Like, what's that like to, go to these events and kind of not only speak to the community, but give advice to the community?
Why are you looking at me crazy?
I was gonna say ladies first. That's all. I ain't even look at you crazy.
So this was, as far as panels at a convention, this is actually my second or third panel at a convention, and third. Okay, so it's been a thing. I've definitely been enjoying it. Of course, for anyone who doesn't know, my panel is on the impact and importance of Black women in the comic space. So it's a whole panel essentially that goes through the statistics of both Black women creators and readers, the importance of why Black women are needed in the comic space, the impact Black women have made on the comic space, because it's a lot more than a lot of people give us credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just goes through a lot of different things that we need to work on and change, essentially, for the space to be more welcoming to Black women readers and creators alike. And it gets a lot of interaction. It gets a lot
Full
of people
house.
in there. Right, at BlurCon, we were the first panel of the day before the convention even started, and the room was packed.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, and I was a bit upset because we didn't have everything we were supposed to have, so I wasn't able to show my PowerPoint. I have an amazing PowerPoint that I made for this panel, and I wasn't able to show it, so I was a little bit upset. I will be doing this panel again at MomoCon later this year, so I should have my stuff and I'll be able to show my nice slideshow. But it's fun, it's funny, it's interactive. When I'm lucky, like this last time, my co-host Ty of Black and Culture is with me. She will be with me at MomoCon. And if you've ever seen the show since she's joined, we play off of each other very, very well. So it's fun banter, even in between stuff. And I love the receptiveness to it. How people are just like, yeah, I'm hearing it, I'm getting it. I like seeing people learn new things. We talk about, and I've been meaning to post this on Melon Mind's page, talk about, hey, how many Black women creators do you know? Period. How many Black women creators do you know that right from Marvel or DC. And some people can maybe name me one,
Right.
maybe two.
Facts.
There's more than the two, three, four, even five out there. There's more than that. Not a lot of them get more than like one book, but they're out there. My favorite question to ask is how many characters from the big two do you know that are created by Black women?
Mm.
I know two, and I share. And everyone is so amazed and intrigued. And my hope is this makes a big change in the industry, even if it's only on the indie side of things. That's fine too, because
Mm-hmm.
altogether, indie outnumbers Marvel and DC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
No,
fact.
that's a very interesting conversation because I've been thinking about that actually. So actually from like y'all's post about like especially this month about women in comics. So
Mhm.
I've been on this thing where I've been really checking League of Comic Geeks like for the writers of issues and just seeing what they look like, who they are, what their sex is, stuff like that. Just
Mm-hmm.
taking note and like across the board it's majority white men, but like I don't see any very little women, but very little, well, none black women for real on there, like as writers, except for Stephanie Williams.
And
She's like the only one I see.
to my knowledge, on Black Comic Geeks is Stephanie, me, and if I'm not, I should be because my books are on there, and I think Carla.
Carla from
Carla,
Lunar.
yeah, Luna.
Luna, yep.
Yeah.
I do believe that, but like from what I've seen, that's all I've seen. And it's a good website. It's a great resource, but that is all I've seen. I will have to double check.
Yeah,
Is there?
no, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong because like when I check it all the time and just check to see each week when I go to the pools, I normally like go all the way down and just look at random comics and then see what they're buying. Especially this is a weird trend I'm definitely seeing is where it's like a black female character, but the whole cast is males. Like this, the whole cast is or white males. That's the one thing that's weird. It's like it'll be a black female lead character, but the entire writing team, the art team, everything is white males, and it's so weird.
And that's a whole nother conversation that we might have on the podcast soon, because I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I had put in when I sent y'all the questions. I was like, I want to talk to Tasha about women in comics. So I feel like that's a whole separate thing.
Slick.
Yeah, but can you talk to more like about BlurCon and conventions and tabling at conventions? Because that's one thing I see also online with us in the indie group is people not really knowing how conventions go or how they work or tabling at them. So could y'all speak to some of the like the good and the bad of cons?
Oh yeah. So tabling, it's going to be a tiring experience first off because you're just going to be engaged, and as just about everybody watching this knows, I'm a talker. But there are some conventions, man. I'll tell you, DreamCon especially is one of the few conventions where after it, I'm silent. Don't say nothing to me. Your boy, I'm done. I am talk
and he loves
out.
DreamCon.
I love DreamCon, but there's
There's so many
so
people.
many people, and you're just on go and engaged the whole time. And so, have some coffee if you're a coffee drinker. I'm not. I do not promote energy drinks anymore. There's a lot extra that comes with that. Yeah, they don't. Ugh. They work at a consequence, you know. So, but get some rest because these conventions can be tiring, but they can also be very discouraging at times, right? Because nine times like you're gonna get plenty of people that's gonna buy your book, but as a people, right, as a society, we harp on the nose and the negative so much more, and so you're going to hear so many of the same reasonings as to why they won't pick your stuff up, right? Oh, I don't read. Oh, I'm not a comics person, or I'm more like manga, or oh, I prefer a finished series, or just all these kind of random
Mm,
sort of statements and stuff that you're just kind of like, you want to say full transparency, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I see the comic in your bag. If you don't want it, you don't want it. But that's okay. Like, you're valid in that emotion. You're valid in that emotion, but don't let that be the driving force behind your entire convention experience.
Mhm.
If we're to be completely transparent, this was probably our worst BlurredCon tabling financial experience because we this was our first time that we vended and did panels at the same time, right?
Mm.
Also had the panels first thing in the morning, and so ripping and running trying to deal with that.
Mhm.
But same day,
Your panels.
my panel was in the middle of the day. But then not only that, we also started our Kickstarter that day,
Is
right?
that it?
So that first day, there was easily 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe, that we weren't vending proper,
Mhm.
right? And so we're like, Saturday was just like, oh, these numbers aren't good. But again, look at the experience as a whole, right? You got to meet a lot of people. A lot of people got introduced to your product. Again, we just talked earlier about 4, 8, 12 touch points. This is a lot of these people's first time interacting with you. We've had people that ran into us at the second, third convention that we've been at. We met them at BlurCon. They ended up at DreamCon, and then we saw them at MomoCon, and then they bought the book. I've been seeing you. I saw you before. That no means it's no today. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But that could be converted into a yes tomorrow, right? So it can be very much discouraging, but this is your opportunity to talk to new people and get new unbiased feedback on what people are seeing and stuff like that. So again, it can be discouraging, but it's so fun. At the same time, you get to see these cosplays. You get to see that genuine interest in your stories. Seeing people walk up and go, "Ooh, okay, what's this?" Right? And it's just like,
Mhm.
you're saying that because of something that we worked on? Okay. And it's just this new extra burst of energy. Like, you stopped by and said you like what you see, or you bought this thing, and then even going back, and we make it, and quite a few, a lot of people do this. You take a picture of them or with the person that's buying your book, and then to go back, you see this as a Facebook member, you see this, on your iPhone, old photo situation or what have you. You're just like, look at all these people smiling at something that wasn't even a physical thing before, right? These are just all
Mhm.
ideas, before they were written down on paper. And now seeing it fully put together, manifested, just flourish in front of you, and seeing somebody smiling excited about something that you created from nothing. Um, Live in that moment. Try to live in that moment. I think, that's what we try to think about at every convention and stuff like that. So tabling is fun. It's hard. It's tiring. It can be tedious at times. There's a lot of money behind it or what have you. But if you're going smart and remember to be happy and joyful about the thing that you're bringing to people, it's a glorious experience.
Mhm. As a person with anxiety and all kinds of other neurodivergent stuff, who gets overwhelmed very easy, if you're running your business alone, try to have a partner
Yeah.
that comes with you to conventions, because you are going to want to sit down and take a break. I
Mm-hmm.
take several breaks at every convention
Yep.
because it's very overwhelming,
Yeah.
very overstimulating. So if you can, have a partner. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't, well, then you're just gonna you take your breaks and don't feel guilty about having to take those breaks.
Right.
Right.
What's meant for you won't miss you.
Right.
Yep.
Even definitely take a partner so you can take a bathroom break, especially.
Woo. And eat and drink.
Please remember food,
Yeah.
Please remember
because
food.
we often don't. We did this time.
This time we did, but previous
Usually
conventions,
we don't eat.
man, we'll grab a snack on the way to the convention because we usually walk from wherever we're at. Usually ends up being like a mile or two walk. We get there, we have like our bottled water in a bag and some assorted snacks, and like we run through those snacks pretty quick. And so you're talking about going through 8, 9, 10 hours on fumes, and then got to
Facts.
stay up and hang out all night. But that's a whole nother thing.
That once we don't usually go out. This was the only time. This was a once in a lifetime thing.
No, I go
Okay, you did,
right.
but I wasn't there. I was home with the
Valid.
kids.
Well, last time you were there, and I hung out with all them when Lonzo and them.
I must have just been tired.
Yeah, we went back. Anyway, yeah, we be hanging out. Need to
We don't be out.
Oh no, we don't be out. No,
like
no,
we
no, no,
were,
no,
like
no.
we were.
No, this time, yeah. If y'all missed us at BlurCon this year, y'all not gonna see us out like that again. We was out. We was out. We ain't had no kids this time. We was outside this time, but that's neither here nor there.
And BlurCon was crazy.
It
BlurCon
was-
was crazy. That was a time to be out.
Yes.
That
So,
joint was crazy.
but yeah,
But I just got a few more questions for y'all. I had like a bunch of questions I wanted to ask y'all, but I kind of narrowed it down because I didn't want to be talking to y'all for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me narrow down these questions. But the one I two more questions I have for you. One of them being, what does the next 5 years look like for Midnight Comics?
Ooh, okay. You want to go first
I
on that?
was, uh, I was about to say, well, I know what you want.
Oh yeah.
I know he wants a book release every month.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Ooh,
Next year or the year after that. That's what this Kickstarter is trying to lead us
Yeah.
to help fund that endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And so that's why it's like the first goal is the first goal, but the stretch goals
Or the individual
is
stories.
getting these books done
Mm-hmm.
so that we have them out and coming out consistently, even if it's not the same title.
Right.
The other thing I know you want, especially before 5 years is up, is an animation.
Mm-hmm.
I know you do. I
Because we
don't
so
care
will.
one way or the other about that, but I do like providing my own opportunities. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it. Um, I know I have several stories that I want to write or have written and would like drawn out. And I would like to get them out because most of them are either one and done or like a limited series.
Yeah.
So I have a whole graphic novel that I've already written that I would love to get out. We're working on our story Sundown, which is going to be a limited series. So I would like for us to finish that up and get that out.
Dreamweaver.
Um, well, Dreamweaver isn't a one and done. It's currently only got one issue, but it's not a one and done.
Valid.
um, but I do want to get Dreamweaver out because man, and
Mm-hmm.
just so many other stories that are sitting in the drive
That aren't superhero
that
stories.
are not. They are horror
Fun
stories,
fact.
suspense stories, um,
Slice of life.
slice of life. They are
So
all kinds of crazy
not to
things.
interrupt you, but like fun fact, our original stories were not superhero stories
You never were.
at all. At all. Like, sure, like Dogma was a thing. Admani was the
Dogma's
only
not superheroes.
only superhero
And
story.
she's not even technically
And she's not
she's
even a
superhero
superhero.
adjacent because she has
Right.
abilities.
Right. We're talking about those stories with stakes and risks and, you know, Sega conversation. Like how they did in that first episode of Dragon Ball Z and they killed Goku off when fighting Raditz. Imagine if my boy stayed gone. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff where it's like, hey, we saw his journey and legacy in the last joy. It's Gohan's story now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if, right? But yeah, so we had a lot of post-apocalyptic kind of stories and stuff like that. But you know, obviously we wanted to tell
Did
superhero
that thing.
stories, but
Oh, I think we did that thing where it's like, oh man, everybody else has that. We should have some too. And then we came up with some, and they were cool. And
and
so we were like, oh yeah, we want to do
yeah. And then when we did the vote, we did a poll. It was just like, hey, what stories do y'all like? But and then like overwhelmingly, Soul in the Gray, or excuse
Mhm.
me, start saying this way, the Gray and Soul,
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say yeah, it's technically the great
the
one.
Gray well, I'm talking about the first time we did it, but now,
That's what I meant.
oh yeah, the Gray is man. I think I said that earlier is fast becoming
A lot of people.
Mhm.
a lot of people like the
Which
top
catches
character.
me off guard every time.
She's my favorite. So whatever.
All right, sis.
Yeah, but that has to be tough, bro. I feel you. Like, with me, I'm a big fan of superhero comics, and most of mine are superhero. But I love
Yeah.
everything else, and I write other stories too. But
Mhm.
it's hard to create because we need money. You feel me? So
Mhm,
like
mhm.
the sometimes you gotta wait and then create outside of like the superhero stuff. But that's dope, bro. So that's dope. So which one of those things you think will happen first? The month, the each releasing the comic each month, or the animation?
Here is. I want the month to month to happen first. And I was gonna
Right.
say, unfortunately, this would not be unfortunate. I think the animation will happen first, and that would lead to the stories doing month to month. I think,
Mm,
because 9 times out of 10, you run into people's like, oh my gosh, this would be sick as an animation, or oh, when are you
mhm,
doing it? There's a lot of animation questions, more so than when is the next issue, at least in those initial interactions, right? Or all three issues in this case of Soul and the Gray are out and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, that's awesome. When is this getting animated, right? And it's like, well, dang, they didn't even finish the arc yet, and you're looking for the animation. So, with that being said, I think an animation will probably happen first, and that'll draw even more of an audience in, to where they're like, hey, let me get these individual books, and that'll kind of, with these individual stories, kind of sprout up the revenue that's necessary for us to get to a point for those particular stories to get those month to month sort of runs. So I think that'll happen first.
Okay, I like that. Tasha, what do you think is gonna happen first?
Yeah, I hate to admit he's probably right.
That's-
No, because a lot of people do be like, "Oh man, that looks dope. When's it going to be animated?" When you buy it so that it can have to be animated. That's kind of how that works.
yeah.
Marvel didn't just go straight in animation. Marvel had comics first, and they sold those comics, and they made money, and then they made animations, and then they made movies, and so on and so forth. That's kind of a lot of times how that works.
Right.
Comics is your proof of concept for a lot of people. Now, some people go straight into animation, but that's because they are usually animators or have a team of animators that they work with. But we're writers,
Right.
and that's first and foremost what we enjoy doing, and then everything else comes from that.
Right.
So he's probably right.
Right. All right, y'all. This is my last question for y'all. What do y'all see? I hate this word. I don't know why I wrote it down. What do y'all see as the trajectory of indie comics? Like, where do y'all see indie comics going from here? Because we're seeing a big boom. I was talking to Lloyd about this a little bit before you came on, Natasha, about like how I've seen a lot more people share each other's work, post each other's work, and also collab with each other. How do you see indie comics going in, like, let's say the next, let's put it out to 10 years? Where do y'all see indie comics going?
I think indie media in general is hitting its boom and going to start growing. I talked about this. Oh Jesus! Our season 2 Melanin Minds season finale. That was back when we used to do the round table talks, and they'd have like 5 of us on there together having a conversation. And we talked about how indie media in general, comics, film, animation, all of it, that is the future of storytelling if we want to keep authentic stories.
Facts.
And that people are going to start gravitating to it. And what's been happening? People have started gravitating to indie comics because they want to see more authentic stories from creators who care about what they're putting out there, who are enjoying telling these stories, who have a passion for telling these stories, and who are going to put their all into these stories.
Yep.
And now that conversation was only like 2 years ago,
Right.
and it's already happening.
Right.
And I distinctly remember saying, indie is the future.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize how near the future was, but it's already happening in all facets. Indie animation is having a great big boom because animation has been ignored a lot in general when it comes to mainstream because they think animation doesn't do well, which is a lie. Animation is one of the best mediums known to man. It can do just about anything, with comics being right behind as the best medium. So like this is only going to grow.
Yep.
And we're going to continue to outnumber the big two. And eventually they're gonna have to start fighting back.
Right. There's a massive desire for something different now. I mean, cool, DC and Marvel is, coming out with stuff consistently, but again, like with the milestone thing and all these other community calls, like we want to see more representation, right? And so the same way that there was this massive boom, not to say this is the first one or the last one, right? But these massive booms of the 2020s with in black indie comics especially, right? Prior to that, again, before we started looking, we didn't really see a lot. And then the moment we started looking, we're like, oh my gosh, it exists. It's everywhere. And it only continues to grow. And so naturally, you're going to see this progression of people that evolve past just making comics and animation. We saw that with Unique Studios. We see that with Stranger Comics, right? And so they're, these guys that have been in it, these trendsetters, they're going to keep raising the bar and really setting the stage for everybody that comes behind them to realize that there are opportunities outside of just making that one book. And once Once everybody starts realizing that you can do that much more, again, creating those avenues, breaking those barriers, we're going to see more animations. We're going to see more movies, live
Mhm.
action movies, right? We're going to see more partnerships with companies outside of the comic space, like us with the utility company. You're going to see indie branch into so much more to where it does become on par with mainstream, if not
Mhm.
more. More impressive. Obviously, we're up against 100 years, 100-year head start, right? However, with the amount of variety, and like Tasha said, indie as a whole outnumbers Marvel DC. There's so much more content,
Mhm.
and that means so much more opportunity. People are just waiting to see what they can do with it.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Hey, that's what I like to hear. I feel y'all on that. I'm like on the same wavelength of that. Like indie comics are only gonna grow because, like you said, Stranger Comics, Unique Comics, those are some of the people that I've definitely been looking at lately. Well, been looking at for a while, but those are who I see, growing, and then all of us, continuing in those footsteps.
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. So I got reinvigorated the other day because if I could be transparent, Kickstarter hit a wall. We was like, oh no, what do we got to do now? Is it the economy? Is it this? And then we saw Stranger Comics go live, 10 stat goal, 8 minutes. And I'm like, no, there's still a
Yeah,
desire. There's still money out there. There's still potential. We can make this happen. And so passing that off to everybody else, right? Obviously, you got your Kickstarter stuff going as well. Like, there's so much out there. Like, once we continue to find our communities and stuff like that, the sky is truly the limit with
mhm.
how much you can do, and how much you can be able to produce and just share it with the world. So yeah, so stay creative and stay joyful and hopeful for what the world has for you.
I like that. I like that. And on that note,
Optimist.
I'm not.
but I want to thank y'all for coming on once again. It's always a pleasure talking to y'all. You'll probably get another request. I'll probably ask y'all again to come on because it's a lot of conversation that we can have.
Mm,
And plus, there's a bunch of questions that I didn't ask that still want to ask y'all. So I definitely want y'all to come on again in the future if y'all are down for it.
absolutely,
Always.
absolutely.
Hey, let's get it. But thank y'all once again for coming on. This has been another episode of Yo a Nerd, and I'm definitely happy y'all are here so I can stop talking to just the camera. So thank y'all for coming on, and thank everybody for watching.